pretty much reclined on our backs. So a supine class, and really working with our lower backs and just giving them a break and letting them repair and heal. So some little spine twists, and we're going to begin reclined, but because some of you at the back might not be able to see me from there, I'm going to show you what we're going to do standing. So you'll be on your backs with your knees bent, and then you'll take your pelvis and tilt it into the floor, and then you'll tilt it forward. So you'll feel an arch and a lengthening in the lower back. So we're going to do that in a reclined position. So that's what I mean when I talk about that. To begin with, just bring yourselves down flat, bend up the knees, and let your knees touch in together and step your feet wide apart. Turning the palms to the sky. And to begin your practice, just simply close off your eyes if you're comfortable to. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's totally fine. Just soften them. And just bring yourself into this moment by noticing the floor beneath you. Sensing the body in contact with the floor. And then notice the breath into the back of the body. And see if you can feel the back of the body press into the floor as you breathe in, and relax from the floor as you breathe out. So let your knees touch if you haven't already. There you go, buddy. Staying with the breath, feeling that body expand as you breathe in and relax as you breathe out. And then bring the awareness to the belly. And notice the belly expand as you breathe in and relax as you breathe out. So Dion, just bend up your knees. That's it. Now let them touch. Step your feet wide. That's it. Turn the palms open to the sky. And then we're going to breathe with our breath. Oh. No, you're not. You're going to breathe with something else. No, we're going to breathe with our hands. So as you breathe in, you're going to bring your arms up and over behind you. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring them back down beside you. Now work with the breath. So slow it down. Really approach this really gently, as if you're painting the air with your fingers. Starting to slow and lengthen the breath. 2 more. And when you finish your second one, just let the palms roll open as the hands rest on the floor. Just rest the body. And bring forward your intention for the class. So just something that you want to focus on or you want more of as you practice. And it's like watering a seed, and that seed is what you want more of. So as you practice yoga, you're watering and nurturing that seed to become more a part of your life. And when you find what that is for tonight's practice, you silently repeat it 3 times. And then just step the knees apart, work the feet in line with the hips, tuck the chin down. You can put your hands on your belly, on the lower part of the belly, if you like, just to sense the movement, get some biofeedback under the hands of the movement of the body. And you're going to rock the pelvis, so the pubic bone is going to move towards the feet, and you'll feel the spine lift off the floor in an arch. And that's when you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you rock that pubic bone back towards the belly button, feel the spine touch the floor. And the whole time, the rest of the body is just resting. So breathe in, rock the pubic bone to the feet, arch the spine. Breathe out, pubic bone to belly button, lengthen the spine onto the floor. And just keep going. Going gently, moving at your pace and moving with care so that you're nurturing the body, not forcing the body. And when you roll that pubic bone to the belly button, really let that belly and chest open. You'll feel the weight of the torso supported by the shoulder blades. Two more of each. And then when you're done, just resting with the back flat on the floor. Take a breath or two, take a moment to just notice the body's response. And we're going to move into 3 small shoulder bridges. So you make sure your knees are in line with your hips. So look down at your knees. You want a gap between your knees. And you step the feet in towards the bottom, but it doesn't have to be overly close. Take the hands towards the heels, so rest them on the floor And just sort of reach them a little bit more towards the heels than you normally would. And then you might find you need to squeeze the shoulder blades up and under the chest. And then let the chin drop down to the chest. Press your big toe and grip your heel into the mat. Roll the pubic bone to the belly button and lift your hips up. Just a little way, nothing over the top. And hold for 3 breaths, looking down at the belly. It's your timing. So at the moment, if your 3 breaths are fast, then you lower as soon as those 3 breaths are done, and you completely soften the body. And every time we're going to do 3 rounds, so you do 2 more rounds, and before you lift, every time you secure the feet, you take the pubic bone to the belly button, and then you lift the hips, resting back into the shoulder blades. Holding for 3 breaths that are your timing. And when you've done 3 rounds, you just drop your knees wide and bring the soles of the feet together. Good. And with the knees wide and soles of the feet together, you're going to press the soles of the feet into each other. And as they press into each other, you'll feel your inner thighs switch on a little. And then roll that pubic bone back to the belly button, feeling the length in the lower back again. Press the spine down, ribs down, chin tucks down. And when you've got your body comfortable, you breathe in and bring the arms up and over behind you. And some of you may end up resting on a bolster, which is a nice thing to do. So if you are, you can press your hands into the bolster, just gently activating the arms. So Kez, turn your hands up, yeah, and reach your arms long, yep, and then press them down into the, yeah, that's it. And if you're not on a bolster with the arms, you can just press your arms back into the floor if that's comfortable. Just keeping the chin down, feeling the breath into all of the ribs and the chest. Soften the jaw, pressing all of the spine into the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined, bound, angle pose. 3 more long, slow breaths, as slow as you can go. And on the out breath of your 3rd breath, roll gently through the arms back beside the body. And breathing in, bring the knees back together again. So we're going to move our arms behind us this time like cactus arms. So if you don't know what that is, if you can look up and see me, your arms fold back onto the floor like that. Yeah, good. Now again, if that's a strain for your hands to reach the floor, let me know and I can put blocks under your hands. Does anyone need blocks? No, you're good? Oh, good, great. So then we're going to step our feet and knees apart. Yep, and then you're going to drop your knees over to the left. That's it, keeping them apart, good. And working the top knee towards the floor. So, can your hand fold back at all? No. Okay, so just leave it like that. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. What about the other one? Is that
okay.
good? Good, right. And then you're going to breathe in, come back to center, and breathe out, rock to the other side. And you hold it to either side for 3 breaths. You want to work at keeping that left shoulder blade on the floor, and the top leg is doing the work. So that's the one that's actively pressing the knee towards the floor. And then take the pubic bone to the belly button and feel what it does through that psoas muscle that runs across the front of the hip. Chin down, pressing the back of the shoulder blades and the ribs into the floor. It's all your timing. You want to do 3 to either side, holding each side for 3 breaths. And if your arms get tired like that, then please feel like you can take them straight out to shoulder height. And as you hold and breathe, focus the breath from the knee to the armpit as you breathe in, and from the armpit to the knee as you breathe out with that top knee. Keeping the jaw relaxed, the teeth apart, the tongue soft. And when you're finished, you just bring your arms back down beside you. You can give your knees a hug if you want to give them a hug. Rock from side to side. Good. And then we're going to move into happy baby. So if your knees are down, bring them back up to the belly. Take them apart, take your legs apart and reach down the inside edges of your legs for your feet, down through the inside, Kez, with your arms as well. So have your arms inside the legs like this. Yeah, that's it. And then if you've got hold of your feet, here, Karen, if you've got hold of your feet, you lift them away from the backs of your legs. But don't let the lower back come off the floor. So this is a lower back lengthening pose. So if you're taking your lower back off, you're missing the point. So you really want to make sure that your lower back is touching the floor. Great. And then the work in the leg begins. So then you pull the feet towards the floor, knees towards the armpits. Keep breathing, don't forget to breathe. And then relax, give your knees a hug. Maybe hold the kneecaps and roll them around in circles. So Kaz, I'm going to give you one for each foot. So it's going to be heaps easier. Good. That's it. Great. And then we're going to come back to happy baby again. So hands down the inside, flatten the feet. Great. Press the lower back into the mat. That's it. So I'm just going to stand in behind you, Kez. So I want you to roll that back down. Good. And then, good. Great. Carly. There you go. Great. And if you want to rock from side to side here, you can. I think that's what a happy baby would do. And then release, give your knees a hug. And once more, reach down. Press the lower back into the floor before you move the feet away from the backs of the legs. So if you were standing up, you would be doing a squat. So 99% of what we do on the floor, you can do standing and vice versa. Feeling the breath deep into the belly. And then we're going to release, hug our knees. If you've got straps around your feet, just let them drop off now. We're going to interlace our fingers around our left leg and lengthen slowly down through the right, sliding that right heel along the floor until your right leg is long. Okay. That's it, down the side. Good. Tuck the chin down, and you're pulling the knee towards you as you press the knee back into your hands and create traction. Great. The foot that's on the floor, let it be flat like you were standing on it. And as you pull that leg towards the belly and you push the leg back into the hands, breathe as deeply as you can down into the diaphragm. Let your belly expand with the in-breath so we can get deep into those abdominal muscles and release tension. And then relax as you breathe out. 3 more breaths. And as you finish your 3rd out breath, just take the left hand to the left knee or whichever leg you've got up. I think you've all got the left knee. Drop the right hand out to shoulder height on the floor and just roll that left knee around in a circle, letting it go as wide to the side as you can reach. So if you've got a strap, keep the strap on and just let it hold the leg as it rolls open to the side. Feeling into that hip joint. And then back the other way, rolling the other way with the leg. And bringing both knees back to the belly. Give them a squeeze as you press the knees back into the hands. Feel the lower back expand across the floor. And then release the left foot to the floor. Slide that heel along the mat until the leg's as long as you can get it. Now, if that's too stressful for the body, please keep that left knee slightly bent and the foot flat on the floor. Using the strap around that right leg or your hands around the leg, pull it in close and then press it back into the hands. Create that traction and then follow the breath. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Making sure that you don't create tension in the jaw. Keep the teeth apart, tongue soft, even resting the tip of the tongue up behind the top teeth. 3 more breaths. And at the end of your 3rd breath, take the right hand onto the kneecap and then roll that right leg as wide out to the side as you can, drawing a circle with the knee. Back the other way. And drawing the other knee up, give your knees a hug again. Rock from side to side. Massaging into that lower back. Good. Okay, everybody has a strap beside them. If you haven't been using one, you'll need to just find yours beside your mat. We're going to bend the knees back up again. You're going to hook the strap around your right foot and extend that right foot up into the air while you hold the strap. I have an invisible strap. And then you lower the leg to the floor and hover it just above the floor, holding the strap, pressing the foot into the strap as the strap pulls back against the foot. And then as you lift the leg with an in-breath, you soften the pressing of the foot into the strap and let the leg do a bit more of the work. And as you lower with an out-breath, press the foot into the strap, pull back against the foot with the strap, lower until you hover, and then come back up on an in-breath, letting the leg do more of the work on the way up. So I want 6 of those to each side. You right, Kez? That's it, yeah. That's it. Take it all the way down, yeah. It's not in there quite right, but I think that'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be held securely enough. Tuck the chin down, keeping the left foot on the floor. Yep. So you use that left foot on the floor to support the lower back. So you press that firmly into the floor as you work through the right side of the body. This doesn't have to be fast. Move with a slow, long breath. The slower, the better. Yep, change sides when you've done 6. And if you feel any stress in the lower back at all, then you need to press into the opposite foot more. And you even need to step that opposite foot a little bit wider, almost level with the outside edge of the hip. Kaz, do you want to bend your right knee? No, you're right. Yep. Moving consciously with the breath, bringing mind, breath, and body together. Yoga means union or to yoke. So once you've done either side, just pause. We're going to come back to the right foot. So yes, strap the foot back in on the right side. That's it. And then take it up into the air. Take the left arm out to the floor, shoulder height, palm face down. Pressing and securing the weight through that arm. So press the shoulder blade into the floor. And then we're going to drop that right leg out to the side as far as you can. Press down through the left foot. Keep that left hip on the floor as much as you can, as if someone was standing on the front of your left hip. Breath in, bring the leg back. 6 to that side and then 6 to the other side. Working with the breath, keeping that right thigh firm. You've got the couch in the way. That's all right. You can move in amongst them. They won't bite. You'll be fine. So when you're really keeping that opposite hip down, your leg doesn't really necessarily go very far, but you've got good integrity through your lower back. Unless you're super flexible, then that left hip will stay flat while the other leg opens up. So really listen. As soon as you feel that hip start to lift, you pause. And when you're done, not that there's any rush, but when you're done, just release the feet or the foot from the strap. And you're going to hug your knees into your chest again and cross over at the shins so that with your legs, so that your hands can hold the feet or the toes. So you're holding the opposite foot to the hand. So take your hands to the outsides of the legs, Kim. Yeah, that's it. It's a good mind bender. That's it. Fantastic. Great. And then It's called signet pose. So then you just let your legs relax towards the floor as much as you can, holding the toes. Yeah, sorry. That's it. Yep. Yep. And then your legs. That's it. Yep. Like you sort of wrapped your legs up in a knot. That's it, Jess. And then rock from side to side. Or if your legs have gone all the way down to the floor, which is cool, just stay there. So Nicole, you can probably lower your feet all the way to the floor. Hold them. Open up, open. Take your knees all the way forward. That's it. That's it. Yep, keep going. Trust. Let that right knee lower. Oh, that's it. Keep going. Good. Good. If you want to try that, you can. So some have already gone there. So you lower your feet towards the floor and take the knees away from the belly as if you're going to take your knees to the belly. Yep, keep going. Yep. Yeah. Play with that. You got room in your hips to do that, do you reckon? So lower your feet towards the floor. Keep hold of them and let your knees open up. And you're opening through your hips there. Yeah, that's it. Let your knees come apart as they are. Yeah, good. Lovely. Go, Carly, you can give it a try. Alex, I reckon you can do it too. That's it. Good. Good, Jess. Good. Excellent. Working with your body. So no matter where you are, let go of the toes, keep the legs the same, and just reach your arms up and over behind you. Tuck the spine into the floor, chin down, feel the length in the back. And then breathe slowly and deeply, expand the belly as you breathe in. Feel that diaphragm pressing down into the organs of the belly, making that belly expand, releasing tension. And then as you breathe out, it releases and pops back up into the ribs. Gosh, time flies. All right, and then breathing in, release the legs, bring the arms back. And then we're just going to do a regular side twist. If you want to, or just roll to one side and sit up for a moment. So this, I suppose, is what we've done with the strap, but it's a little bit different, and I think most of you have all done it before. And I'll show you without support. So you take your arms out to shoulder height, chin down. You really secure your shoulder blades into the floor and the hands into the floor because they're your support. And then you have one leg long. You raise it up. And then you roll it. I'll do the other leg so you can see it. And then you roll that leg over, but you keep the shoulder blade on the mat. And if you can reach your toes, you reach your toes. Otherwise, it doesn't matter where it gets to. But the shoulder blade must stay on the floor. So if you find you get to here and your shoulder blade lifts off, you stop. And then you just pause and you sit in the pose. And then you come back and you lower that leg down. Now, if that's going to be too strong for anyone, you can have a bolster. You can put some blocks on. You can make that as high as you need it to be. You can keep this knee bent if it's too strong on your lower back. You raise the leg up and you roll over. And if you can touch that, and that makes it easier, great, but you've got to keep the shoulder blade on the floor. So that's the full extent of the pose. Don't judge yourself for how far you can go. It's a waste of time. Just do what your body can do and just see what it does and sit where it stops. And then we'll do 3 to either side, holding for at least 2 breaths, and make any adjustments you need to make it comfortable so there's no stress or strain. That's it. Great. Listen to the shoulder blade first when you've already started to twist, and stop when the shoulder blade starts to pop off the floor. Good. Then slowly move your head to the opposite hand. I know we've got headphones on, so you can't turn it very far, but just turn towards that. Great. Holding for at least 2 breaths, 3 if you can. And 3 to either side, so then you change side. You cannot do all the same side at once, or you can change sides each time. That's great, Jess. So rather than letting your toe touch the floor, because you've got great flexibility there, keep your foot off the floor, straighten your leg, flatten your foot. Fantastic. You could grab your toes. Oh, you're so close. If you bent your knee a bit, there you go. And then your work would be slowly straightening that leg. Keep that shoulder blade on the floor. Being grateful for the movement that you have in your body without any judgment, without even any involvement. I get so excited when I see people move and things like that, that I probably say things I shouldn't say. So don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. And each side will be slightly different to the other. So honour that. Pay attention to that and work with it. And when you've done 3 to each side, just rest. So for those that have finished, I want you to roll onto one side and sit up for me. If you're still going, keep going. Don't rush that. Follow your timing. Those that have finished, roll, sit up, grab your bolster, pull it in to the mat. And we're going to rest back. And if you need a block to put under your head, grab that before you roll back. Roll the body back. Now your arms can be over your head, but if your shoulders are not great, just leave your arms on the bolster itself. And again, make sure it's comfortable. Make sure there is no discomfort. And if there is, we adjust. You comfy like that? Yeah.
Right.
How's that?
Hands don't touch the ground, is that all right?
Well, it just means that it's going to weight through your shoulders after a period of time. So are your shoulders okay with that?
Seems to be all right.
Yep. And when it changes, you just bring them back onto the bolster. Yep. How's that for your back, Kim? Yeah, it should be actually quite good. Good. Just depends on where it's tweaking, but if that feels okay, that's great. And you've got space in the rib cage now to just follow the breath from the tip of the nose into the diaphragm, from the diaphragm back out through the nose. The diaphragm's that band of muscle that sits at the base of the ribs, and it sits up in the ribs like a dome. And when you breathe in, it presses down into the belly, presses against the organs, and when you breathe out, it rises back up into the rib cage. And when we breathe that deeply, without stress or strain, when we breathe that deeply, we switch on our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, that part of us that knows how to slow down and calm down. So breathing into that as best as you can. Three more breaths. And when you're ready, you gently bring the arms back, bend up the knees, roll onto one side, tucking the chin in as you lift the head. Cool. So we're going to take our blocks and prop up our bolster now to have a reclined rest of the class. So you take one block and you pop it up high, and the other block lays flat, and your bolster rests up against that. Now, when we recline back, we can do it with the soles of our feet together and our knees wide. And you want the bolster to start at the waist, not below it. So you work out where the waistline is and the back of the bolster, and then you rest back. If you don't want to have your knees wide, you can either leave your legs long and take your feet fairly wide apart, or you can have your knees bent with the feet wide and the knees touching. Whatever works for your pelvis. And there should be eye pillows there too, so if you want to grab that. Cass, do you want one? Yeah. Let the arms roll open. Jess, do you want an eye pillow? No. And we're just going to focus on breathing into the lower part of our ribs. So just breathing naturally, but keeping the breath down into the lower part of the ribs, as in that's where your focus is. So you're not breathing up into the chest, just breathing down into the diaphragm, what's easily referred to as a belly breath. Try and keep your chest still, and you get a sense of the lower ribs moving outwards as you breathe in and relaxing back in as you breathe out. And then shift the awareness of the breath into the middle of the rib cage. So not right up to the collarbones or the top of the chest there, but the space between the lower ribs and the collarbones. Sense into that space as you breathe in and out now. Not so much into the belly anymore. And then shift the awareness of the breath into the chest, the center of the chest and closer to the collarbones. Feeling the breath now into the top of the chest. Letting the belly relax, the mid-ribs relax. And now we're going to put them all together. So as you breathe in, you breathe into the belly, to the middle of the ribs, and then up into the chest. You breathe out from the chest, the middle of the ribs, and the belly. Breathing into the belly, ribs, chest. Breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. Keep practicing. Stay with the breath for 4 more breaths. An in-breath and an out-breath being one breath. At the end of your 4th breath, just let that breathing practice go. Letting it go now. Returning to that natural, effortless breath. And if you need to move your legs at all, if you want to bring the knees up or you want to take your legs long, please do that now. Otherwise, you can remain as you are. And just slowly bring the awareness into the head. Sensing the whole head with all of your awareness, the heaviness, the shape, the contents. All of the awareness in the head now. Head heavy and relaxed. Let the awareness drop down through the neck, the throat. Notice the vertebra. Sense into the neck with all of your awareness. Sensing the neck relaxed. Then take the awareness through the collarbones and out through the shoulders. Tops of the shoulders, shoulder joints, muscles, collarbones, resting. All of your awareness here now. Shoulders relax. Let them be heavy. And take the awareness down the arms, both arms, through the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists. Sensing both arms even, soft and heavy. Both arms relaxed. Then see into the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, all of the small bones, the thumbs, the fingers. Sensing that heaviness and softness of the hands. Then take the awareness into the torso, the chest, the shoulder blades, the rib cage. Down the spine, through the middle of the back, the lower back, the belly, upper lower abdomen, the waist, front and back, into the pelvis, sensing through the torso now, resting, relaxed. Moving into the hips, the thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles. Feel both legs heavy, resting and relaxed. Through the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, into all of your toes. Feeling the feet relax, the toes relax. Bring the awareness back to the crown of the head, as if looking down onto your body, whole body relaxed. Say to yourself 3 times, whole body relax. Slowly, slowly bring the awareness back to the breath. Sense the body breathing a little bit deeper now. Taking the awareness back out into the whole body. Feeling into the floor beneath you, the walls and the ceiling of this space. Wiggling through your fingers and your toes. And if you want to take your arms up and over behind you, please do. Before you remove your eye pillow, remember it's very light here, so please take it off with your eyes closed. And it's always nice to take a moment to just soak in the colour that floods into the eyes when you have them closed after being under an eye pillow. And then when you feel ready, you gently roll onto one side and bring yourself upright. And we'll finish with 3 Oms. Sitting however comfortable you want to be. And breathing in. Bring your palms together at the chest. Hatha Tat Sat. Have a lovely, lovely evening and rest of the week.